Fraser Public Library Intro 2 series. And today we have Jackie, and Jackie is going to be showing us how to knit. Now, I've never knitted before, so please bear with me.
So anyway, knitting, we have what we call needles.
Okay.
You can have the straight needles.
Okay.
So there's always going to be 2 of them. And they come in different lengths, like these are the large ones if you're making something like big, like an Afghan or something with like, 100 stitches or whatever. Or
yeah, I don't want to try
or the shorter ones, which are really easier to deal with.
Are they always made of metal?
No, we have
really big chunky ones.
We have chunky ones, and they come in different sizes. So these are like really, really, really large if you want to get something done really quick.
Okay.
But they come in wooden, which I like to knit with.
Okay.
They come in
metal.
And they come in plastic.
And they come in plastic. Okay.
And besides the straight needles that we have, we also have these. So like if you don't want to knit like on a
okay, so if this is straight, what is that called?
These are circular.
Okay, cool.
Okay, so you can do like 200 stitches on one of these instead of trying to get it on to a long one, which would be all cramped.
Right.
So these are really cool to knit with when you have a lot of.
And I think for like something like a hat, maybe it would be easier.
Well, a hat you could.
Okay.
But you don't have a whole lot of stitches on a hat.
Right.
So I don't like to knit with the longer ones because they get in the way.
Oh,
so,
yeah.
So the circular ones would be really great.
I'm going to have a really hard time with this because I'm going to like try and stab myself on accident. It's going to be complicated.
No, it won't be as hard as you think.
It'll be interesting.
Then to go along with the needles, you have the yarn,
okay.
which comes in different strengths, or my mind just goes blank. Right. And so I just brought some ideas with you, the different types of yarn, depending on what you like. This is a really soft, like you can make a scarf with it, or a hat, or
cool.
even a sweater. And they come in different amounts of yarn. So this is like 11 ounces. That's a lot.
That's a lot of yarn.
Then we have this is like 7 ounces. And then you have the really smaller skinny, which would be like for baby sweaters, clothes.
There we go. So just in case, this is how tiny that is compared to the thicker purple that's in my hand. So different weight. Is it called a weight? Okay.
And then this yarn is 100% cotton, which right now I'm making washcloths from.
Oh, cool.
So this is like a couple washcloths that I've made. That cool. Feels kind of nice. I like the feeling of that.
Yeah, especially for a washcloth.
Yeah. Yep.
And you've got nubblies on it, so it can get into those hard to reach nooks and crannies. I like that. That's super cool.
Yeah.
Now with the cotton, when you stick it in the washer, does it like shrink at all?
No. Okay. No, it won't. And then to get going, you want to get a few things besides your needles and your yarn.
Okay, so not just needles and yarn.
No, you'll need scissors.
Okay.
These are my knitting scissors.
Usually any sort of fiber craft, you kind of have to have scissors.
Any kind. Yeah. You want to tape measure. So that depending on what you're making, you'll want to measure, see how much farther you have to go, which I do a lot.
I have a feeling that's going to be me. How much further?
And then we have a row counter or a stitch counter. A lot of the patterns will say, do 10 rows of this, and
gotcha.
Instead of writing it down, this just fits right on your needle like that. And then you have it right there, and you don't have to go looking for it.
That's kind of cool.
And then of course, when you're all done, you have yarn that is hanging.
Okay, so
and you need to sew it in
Okay.
so that it, doesn't come loose.
Oh, okay.
So that's like at the very end. So
Okay.
those are the basic things to get started. There's other things, but
Oh, I'm sure.
as you get going, you'll need them, but you won't need them today.
Okay.
So you choose your color. You want purple?
I do.
Alrighty. I will take green.
Ooh, I like that color too.
So what I do to start out, take a needle and take about that much. You don't want a whole lot, but you want enough so that at the end you can
Okay. About 6 inches or so.
Yeah, that's about right. And then on your first one, you just make a knot.
Okay. So simple.
Whoops. Yeah, just a simple little knot.
Okay. Does it matter where your tail ends up going?
No. Mm-mm.
Okay, good.
Don't tighten it too tight, because that first row of cast on is called casting on.
Okay.
That first row is kind of a doozy.
Okay.
It's kind of hard. So just kind of leave it loose.
Okay.
So that when you do your first row, it won't be so hard.
Okay.
And then I take the long part, and I just wrap it around my thumb like this.
Okay. Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
So you kind of make it's just wrap it around and around like that.
And then like that.
Yeah. And leave it kind of loose, because now you want to take your needle, go in between.
In between the two.
And then take your thumb out and tighten it.
Ooh.
Yeah. So let's do 10 of those.
Okay.
You've already got 2. So we'll do 10.
I had to figure out how to wrap my thumb back around. So you
See,
go
I just hang on and go like that.
Yeah. So you go up and around. Yeah. Okay.
Now there's several different ways that you can cast
count
on.
The first one.
Yep. Yep. Because that's considered a stitch.
Okay.
So getting started, I would suggest you go on to Google and just Google cast on knitting, and there's little videos that will show you the different ways of doing it. There might be something that's a little more easy.
Okay.
Than this.
I don't know. That's pretty easy.
Yeah, this one is the one I like the best.
If you can't see, that's kind of what it looks like. Okay, I think I made mine a little tight. Are they supposed to be loose or tight?
I'll make them loose for that first row.
Okay.
Because that first row is, it's easy to drop a stitch.
Okay.
And makes it a little bit hard to pick it up.
Like that?
Get it closer to the, yeah.
Like that?
That's good. Yeah. Got it. I'm gonna do about 10.
4, 5, 6, 8.
All right.
10. I can do that.
You did very well. So now we're going to take the needle and put it in our left hand.
Oh, this is where it's going to get complicated. Okay.
No, it's not. So,
well, we're using 2 hands. I am not ambidextrous here. I am very much a dominant right hand person.
Yeah, that's fine, because your right hand is the one that's doing everything.
Okay.
Okay. So you take the first stitch.
Okay.
We are going to start with the first stitch. The first stitches that we're going to learn will be called the knit stitch.
Oh, okay.
So knit stitch. Okay. So just take the needle between the little gap there.
Okay. All right. So you have this like this.
Yeah, you can hold it however you want. All the years that I've been doing, I have my own special way. So
method. All right, so we're gonna go in between the. I've made mine a little tight. I see what you mean. I think it was because I was grabbing.
That's okay. That you can loosen up, because it's that last stitch there.
All right, so
kind of like that. So just go up like that. Try to get them all.
This is a bad.
There you go.
This is a bad yarn to choose.
Now take the yarn. Okay, put the needle on this side.
Oh, back. Okay, back side.
Yeah. And take the yarn and wrap it around
Okay, so
the right hand needle.
back to front. Like this.
Let's see what you got.
Do I have it messed up? I have it messed up. Okay.
That's good. Okay.
Okay.
So.
Okay.
Okay,
So
you
he's
got
supposed
it?
to go in between the two. Okay.
Mhm.
Okay. That's where my problem is. All right. So the problem came from this yarn. This long tail of yarn is supposed to go in between the two needles. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So then you wrap it around back to front.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And then just pull it. Okay, wrap it around and then just pull it off.
Okay.
Go like that, and off it comes.
Ooh, like that.
Mm-hmm.
Now I have to take it off the other needle, right?
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
And so you do it again.
Okay. Like
And just
that.
wrap it around. Wrap in between. Mhm.
Yeah.
And then bring it through.
Like that.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Well, it's gonna take me a while to figure out.
That's okay.
I'm using two hands. I'm not used to using two hands here.
I even got mine a little tight. So.
So you bring it up in. I don't think I chose a good yarn.
No, it's good.
It's wanting to unravel itself.
Yeah, that's the only trouble with doing these, doing it that way.
Okay. Oh, I'm gonna have some looser ones and some tighter ones. I can already tell. Okay.
Yeah, I don't particularly like these long needles.
Yeah, I mean, I'm having problems with these, and these are even short. If I had the really long ones like you do, I would
Yeah.
I'd be like, where is this going? Okay. Scoot down.
Good.
Ooh.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh, it's my stomach. I'm having a hard time with this finger because it wants to help, but I don't need it to help. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
Oops. All right, let's try that again. I think I got one of the.
Yeah, once you're through the first row, then it'll be easier. It's
All
always
right.
that first row.
There
you go.
That is
Okay.
not at all pretty.
So that's okay. It gets prettier.
Okay.
So you've got your first row.
Yes.
And
oh yeah, you definitely were faster.
It will look like this eventually.
Okay.
So this side, these are the knit.
Okay.
Those are the what we call the knit stitch.
Okay.
So if you look really hard on your you can see it. How right there. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So let's do another row
Okay.
of knit stitching.
Okay, so now
And
this
then-
one goes to this hand, and
Yeah.
this one
Yeah.
goes over here. And
Yeah, you go from left to right.
okay, and
We'll
this
do another
goes-
knit. And this row should be a little easier.
Maybe. All right, so my tail goes in between the two, right? So where do I put it in?
Okay, you put your needle.
Yeah, because this is where I started.
Okay, yeah, you put your needle right through there, right through that hole.
Right here?
No, not that way. Over the top.
Oh, right, around to back. Okay. Thank you for reminding me.
That's all right.
And then,
Yeah, I'm gonna keep that out of the way.
Yeah.
It goes from back to front.
Right, so he goes like that, which I just wrapped my tail in. You're gonna live there for right now until I figure out what to do with you. Okay, and then that goes off. Okay.
So we'll do another row. We'll do that row.
So it goes in like that,
Mm-hmm.
like that. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Back to front. So does the type of stitch vary depending on where you're putting your needle in?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. And how you're wrapping the...
Not so much how you're
yarn?
wrapping.
That stays the same?
Pretty much. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah, my grandma knew how to knit. And she tried to teach me. I'm not an ambidextrous person.
Yeah.
Not at all. Not even in the slightest. I love how you're like, yeah, I'm done. I'm just gonna sit here. I'm like, I think I've done
okay. No, take your time.
maybe.
Take your time. You know, I wasn't any better.
Oh, I know.
It doesn't come easy. You know, it takes a lot of work, a lot of practice.
Yeah.
But, you know, if you like it, you like it. And if you don't, you don't. And,
well, my sister knits.
mm-hmm.
And she really likes it.
Mm-hmm.
She likes it a lot. And I was like, I don't know. I'm not an ambidextrous person here. Like, two things that are stabby into the yarn does not seem like it's going to be a good thing for me.
Your left hand really doesn't do a whole lot except hold the needle and kind of hold the yarn, you know, the stitches. So,
which that's good to know because, you know, I thought the left hand did a lot more.
No, not
when
really.
You're, don't fall off up there. Don't fall off.
So, and you know, if you think that you like to do it, all right. So you've got 2 rows of knitting, and if you notice on the back,
sure,
you've got the bumps in the front, what I call the bumps.
Yeah.
And the bumps in the back. Okay.
Yeah.
And that's what you'll get. The front part.
We'll get the bumps.
The front part, yeah, you'll get the flat, the knit stitch, but it creates the bumps on the back.
Oh.
Okay.
Oh, okay. But because we just did a knit both ways,
so
we have bumps front and back.
If you're knitting and you do like 4 or 5 rows of knitting, this is how it's going to look. This is called the garter stitch. You got bumps on both sides.
Oh, you got bumps front and back. Okay. And
So that is called the garter stitch.
Oh, that's really
when you knit all your rows.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, that's kind of cool.
Yeah. And then you can see when you pull that apart, you can see the knit stitch.
Yeah, you can. You can really see it.
So now we're going to do the other stitch called the purl stitch.
Lord. Okay.
All right. So it's just the opposite. So what you want to do, take your first stitch, you go in from the top, and go in the middle.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
So I'm gonna go like that.
And then you take your yarn, and you take it around that needle
like this.
And then you just pull it out.
Oh.
And gather it, and you have your purl stitch.
Okay, I gotta pull this further down so I can. All right, so instead of going back, I go front.
Front and down.
Front and down. The down part might be my downfall.
Not really. You're doing good. Very good.
This is literally my second stitch though, so talk to me when I've done 10 of these suckers.
Oh, shoot.
Okay. I feel like I should
and what
you'll
get when you purl, you'll be creating the bumps. But on the opposite side, it will be the knits, like the knit stitch.
Oh, okay. So this is how you get that V pattern on one side and all of the bumps on the other. Okay, that makes sense. I was wondering how that was accomplished. So it's knit one row, then purl another.
And that is what this will be.
That's what
This
that
is
looks
knit one row,
like.
and then you purl the back side,
Okay.
and that's called the stockinette stitch.
Stockinette stitch.
Mhm.
Okay. That's usually what you see on most knit garments. Is
A
stockinette.
lot, yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
You're not really going to see any of the others, unless it's like a ribbed sort of thing.
Right. So those are the two main stitches,
Oh,
and then everything else
it's gravy.
comes from yeah. So let's do 2 rows of the purl.
Oh no. Okay.
Or
Let
do
me
you want? Or
let
do
me
you
finish
want?
my
Or,
first row
or
first.
do you
Okay.
want to do a knit? A knit?
No. I can do another purl. I gotta finish this row. I'm much slower.
Oh, that's okay. I don't want to rush you. Oh, we've got until 8 o'clock.
It's true. We do.
You want to go home sooner, I'm sure.
Well, I mean, eventually I will want dinner. Just saying.
So, okay. So,
Do you get this weird loopy thing at the end?
yeah, that's okay. You just have to tighten it up a little bit.
Is that from? Oh.
Yeah, you just tighten it up. That happens all the time.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, it's
Okay.
not a big deal.
So
you
that's
just
not a
want to
big
make
deal.
sure that before you knit the next stitch, you kind of tighten it up.
Okay.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
wasn't doing that before, and I guess that's where my downfall was, peeps.
So we'll what did I say? We'll purl the next
Purl,
row?
yeah.
Let's do it.
All right, so see, this is where I get confused. Okay, on this side, I'm going in like this.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And you wrap it around. Okay,
Like
wrap it around. Mm-hmm. And the yarn will always be in front.
Okay, well,
If that helps.
that does help because mine decided it wanted
In the back.
to try and take an escape route backwards, which obviously was not cool, man. Not cool.
Now, for all of you who might be interested in knitting, you can take lessons. Right now, I know like Joanne and Hobby Lobby have classes, but of course, right now you're not, I'm pretty sure you're not going to be able to take classes from them.
Probably not in person.
But
Maybe they have online.
You can go YouTube.
Creative Bug. I wonder if Creative Bug has classes.
Oh, I'm sure they do. YouTube has lots of videos on casting on all the main basic
well, I can
steps.
cast on. That's easy. That's easy.
You can what my oldest daughter did was that she went online and ordered a knitting kit.
Oh.
And it's for a beginner. You get your yarn, you get your needles, you get your instruction book, and it starts from the very basic, step by step. And I think it had like 3 or 4 different things you end up making, and each one was a little bit harder with a different kind of stitch, or how to increase, how to decrease.
That's more complicated, I'm sure.
It is, but it isn't. I know it sounds hard, but it's not.
Well, decreasing I can figure out. You take 2 stitches instead of 1. So you go through 2 holes instead of 1.
And increasing, you can do it. There's a couple ways you can do it. You can do it with just wrapping the yarn around the needle.
Oh, okay.
And then going from there, that will add a stitch. Okay. Or you can, I'd have to show you how to do the other way, where you actually knit and purl in 1 stitch.
Oh.
And it will give you an extra stitch there.
That one sounds complicated.
Yeah.
That sounds like a complicated.
Whoops.
I've lost my needle.
That's all right.
I know you went through here. There we go.
There you go.
Don't drop your needle like I just did.
It happens even to the best of us. If your hands are kind of slippery.
Well, I'm sure the metal needles are a little bit easier to drop just because they're metal.
You're fine.
Let's try that again.
Yeah.
Let's try that again. Okay. I go like that, and like that. Okay.
Very good.
All right. I've got. Why are you so big on the end? Oh, it actually looks like stitches.
Of course, Kristen. You're doing a good job.
You're laughing at me,
No,
but
I'm not.
like this is more
No.
than I've been able to do with 2 hands ever, guys. Okay, this is like, look at this. This is amazing. It actually looks like something. Not a very good something,
Well.
but something.
I'm not laughing at you.
That's so
Not
cool.
at all.
Okay, so Bumpy's is knit.
Pearl. The bumps would be the pearl.
Okay.
And
Okay,
in the flat side, in the flat side like this would be the knit stitch.
Okay, so this
And
is
then-
the pearl side, this is the
And
knit
then,
side.
you know, the knit stitch on this side will be the bumpy on the back side.
Gotcha.
Okay, and then just the opposite, if you're purling, the bumpy side will be facing you. And then when you turn it over, you'll have the knit. So what you're doing is to get this, you're knitting a row.
Mhm.
And then when you start the second row, you're purling. So
'Cause it's
the pearl will
essentially
be
the
that,
back,
and then
yeah.
it will be that, and you just go back and forth.
Oh, that's so cool.
Or like if you want to just knit everything, you'll get, the
Yeah.
bumps.
The bumps on both sides.
But you can see in between.
Yeah. Okay, okay. Yeah, I can actually see the pearls
Yeah.
versus the knit 2 rows on the bottom. That's really cool.
Okay.
So then I would need to knit this side and then purl this side.
However you wanted it to look. If you wanted
Right.
it to look like this, yes.
Yeah,
You
my
knit
first
this. You knit.
my first row is a little janky.
So it would be.
Look at,
No,
I've
but
got-
that's okay. That's your cast on.
Yeah,
So,
yeah. He's a little special. It's okay. I love you anyway. Okay, that's super cool. Okay. Wow, that's so cool.
So we can.
Now, how do you make sure that you keep the same number? Do you count your stitches?
I don't anymore.
You don't anymore because
But,
you can generally feel it.
If I'm doing a pattern and the pattern's not working out, like if I end up like with I need to knit 2 stitches and I only have 1 stitch left, it's a problem.
Yeah, that
so
could
you
be an
hope
issue.
and sometimes you can spot it if you drop a stitch, you can
Right.
spot it sort of like hanging there,
Oh, okay.
But yeah, and it's easy to add stitches because if you're not paying attention when you're moving your yarn, sometimes the yarn you'll get let me show you here.
I'll do like a double loop or something.
Well, if you're not paying attention, and you might how do I want to do it? Do it so that you end up like doing it around the needle.
Oh,
then,
you do it like twice, and then
Yeah.
you're like, oh,
Yeah,
shucky
yeah.
darn, man.
So you end
that's
up
more
with,
than I wanted.
12 stitches instead of 10.
I could see myself doing
And that's
that.
an easy way to increase, but you might not want it where you do it.
Yeah. Oh, that's super cool.
So
what would you recommend for a first project then?
they
Like the
usually just do,
dishcloths?
I would not because, well, you can, but I would stick with just doing
A
like
square.
a big square.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Start
And
out
you
with
can
a big
do,
square.
more than 10 stitches, you can do
Right.
20 and, make it, but this is just a little swatch that I did so you could kind of see what it looks like.
I love having the example there because it's easier to see what you're talking about when we're talking about like the knit versus the purl.
Yeah.
And the bumpies versus the knot. Yeah, guys, we will be doing
That's the professional word.
The professional term is bumpies.
Bumpies. Jackie's term.
No,
Yeah.
it's a professional term, man. Bumpies.
So. And this, I just brought a couple things to
This
show.
one stretches really far this way.
And this
Not
is
as
like
much
what
this one.
you can do. You can do, you know, like 2 knit stitches, 2
Uh-huh.
purl stitches to make something like that.
Make kind of a waffle pattern.
Mm-hmm.
That is
Mhm.
cool.
It's another washcloth that I'm.
Yeah, I like these. These are fun. So to do this, you did knit all the way across.
Well, this is binding off. This is
Oh.
the bind off up here.
Okay.
This would be where I started.
Oh, that's
down
where
here.
you started. Okay,
Yeah.
so then you
Yeah.
knit all
So
the
I
way
knit.
across.
Yeah, there's 46 stitches there.
Okay.
So I have gotten into the habit because some patterns you start right off with a pattern, and that first row, like I said, is really
Yeah,
a
my
bugger.
first row is
So-
janky here.
So I have gotten to where I will just automatically knit the first row, and it doesn't ruin the pattern.
Mhm.
It just makes it easier. So when you start your pattern row,
Yeah.
you can do it more easy. You can do the knitting and the purling and
Right.
whatever.
And it's easier to see what you're doing as
Yeah,
opposed to,
yeah.
because my first row on here is pretty janky.
Well, yeah,
Like,
but that gets better
oh, I'm
as you
sure.
experiment.
That's super cool. All right. Well, thank you so much, Jackie, for teaching us how to knit.
You're
I
welcome.
greatly appreciate it. This is a new skill that I'm going to have to try out when I get home.
I did
Bake
read
some
some
yarn.
knitting books that
Oh, nice.
the one that I really like, see if I can bring it, is this one by Vogue Knitting,
Ooh.
and it actually is very basic. It starts out with the history of knitting, and it goes through everything, the kind of supplies you're going to need, the yarn,
Oh, that's cool.
techniques, how to correct mistakes, how to
Yeah, I need to know that.
you know, everything.
Right.
So if you're interested in, this is our book. So it's Vogue Knitting.
At Fraser Public
And
Library.
yes.
There you go. No, I love that. And then you have another one that's like garments. Is that garment knitting?
This one is, yeah, I prefer just to do like Afghans, blankets.
Okay.
But this is, if you're interested, you know,
And doing
doing
like
sweaters,
sweaters or
hats.
cardigans or things.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I'm sure there's shaping involved and like
Oh yeah,
increases
and measuring.
decreases
And then this is
we lost it. That's okay.
That's all right. And then this is doing Afghans, which is pretty cool too.
Yeah,
You
that
know,
looks cool.
you don't have to worry about shaping it or anything. You know, it's.
Well, and I'm sure
But
this
you
is
have
a
your
wonderful
patterns, you have your
little
colors,
craft.
a little more advanced, but it's fun to do. I've made quite a lot of Afghans.
Oh, these are cute.
So yeah. So there's so much you can do. You can, you know, you can make Christmas presents, you know, you can make little dolls, little knit things and big things. And
I gotta tell you, I am a huge fan of homemade Christmas presents.
Mhm.
They are my favorite because I always feel like the person actually thought about what was going
Yeah.
to be given. And they spent time working on it. So I love homemade Christmas
And
presents.
you know, if you like to watch TV and you're like, oh, I got to do something with my hands, knitting is a perfect thing.
It's a perfect fiddle craft. I love fiddle crafts.
It is, and it's amazing how much you can get done by watching a 2-hour program.
Right.
You
All
know?
right.
So
Well, thank you,
okay.
everybody. Thank you, Jackie, for
Thank you
showing
for
us how to
listening.
knit. And we're going to put on a section of showing Jackie from above so that you can see what she's actually doing. All right. So thank you so much, guys.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you.
Go ahead. Okay. Make it look so easy.
Well, remember, I was 11 when I started this. So
Really?
my mom put me in 4-H knitting and sewing
Wow.
in 6th grade. Sewing, but okay, as my kids, were babies, I make baby clothes.
Right.
Knitting is just my passion.
That is so cool.
I'm gonna do that. I'm not even gonna count them.
That's okay.
That.
All right, so that's our first row,
Mm-hmm. It's our casting on row.
right? And then we're going to knit the first row. So you go in and go towards the back. Wrap around.
These needles are so
and
big. Let me
knit.
do that.
Do you want to use the shorter one?
You know what? I'm going to, yeah, I'll just use this one. I don't want to disturb your work about it.
Oh, it is definitely not a work of art. Let me assure you. Yeah, you have like this little wrap method that you've got. I know my
I'm
arm
sorry.
is in the way.
So, okay, I'm going to knit those and then I'll purl.
Yep.
Purl the next ones. Oops. That's what I mean, that first row is.
Difficult.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
I kind of split that stitch there. Okay. There we go. And then I'm going to go back to knitting. And that's the one thing too, you want to be careful not to split the stitch. In that first row, it's
Really easy to do that.
Uh-huh, mhm.
Yeah.
okay. And got one more. And voila.
Ta-da!
With a couple of split stitches and there you go.
Yeah. Awesome. Thank you.
Okay.
All right. Let me stop recording.